Good morning, Lourdes.
Good morning, Maria. How are you?
I'm doing great today. How about you?
Good.
Good. Awesome. Awesome. And well, for our viewers, welcome back to Coaching Conversations. I'm Maria Sabio.
And I'm Lourdes Leeper.
So, have you ever felt overwhelmed when life throws you something unexpected? You have a breakup, a job setback, even a flat tire, or even a tough conversation. It's easy to feel stuck, like our difficulties have this power to define or diminish us. But today we want to show you a different way to look at these challenges.
Yes, imagine your inner strength as a powerful flame. So instead of being extinguished by problems, this flame uses every challenge and obstacle as fuel to grow stronger. So today we'll talk about how to develop a mindset that helps you not only handle life's challenges, but actually use them as fuel for growth.
So, Lourdes, why do you think that it's so easy for people to get overwhelmed with um, life's difficulties?
Well, it's about expectations, right? I mean, often we attach our well being to very specific outcomes. And then when things don't go according to plan, it feels like everything is unraveling. We become kind of untethered and just unmoored. But if we're emotionally rigid, hoping life follows a precise script, when it doesn't, our inner flame, our confidence, our inner peace, our center gets shaky, wobbly.
Right, because when we start to change our approach to the challenges, if we start looking at it as opportunity rather than a threat, we really become more resilient. So that shift in perspective, let's unpack that. What does it mean to treat challenges as a fuel? It's about seeing each different or each difficulty as a source of emotional growth, right? And instead of thinking, why me? You can start to ask, what can I learn from this?
Yes, exactly. That this mindset allows you to use setbacks, heartbreak, criticism as opportunities to develop qualities like patience, compassion, or inner strength. It's about becoming adaptable rather
Mhm.
than fighting reality. You
Yeah.
transform every event into material for personal growth.
Right. So let's give the viewers some practical tools to start today. You can start using these, and they're very simple to implement. The first thing you really want to do is, and something that we bring up often, is shift your perspective. Instead of viewing the challenges as personal attacks, you see them as opportunities to practice your values. And stay flexible in your goals. Set intentions rather than those rigid expectations. This makes it easier to adapt when things change, because that's one thing that most people don't like: change. And if you can learn how to adapt to changes, it really it's less stressful, and it shifts your life into a greater peace, because change is inevitable. We're going to change. There's always going to be change. It's how we handle these changes that allows that peace and that trust that builds within you, that you can handle it. And then practice mindful curiosity. Ask, what is this teaching me, rather than why is this happening to me?
And that's a really essential question to ask yourself, that this idea that things are happening to you. If you can shift from saying, all right, well, what is this going to force me to learn, to grow? How is
Hmm.
this going to, you know, make me grow? Another tool is to reconnect with your inner strength daily. Remind yourself regularly that you are capable of handling what arises. It really is about building that self-belief, and repetition is your friend there. And then reflect and integrate. At the end of the day, take a moment to acknowledge how you've grown and what you've learned from difficult moments and challenges. These, practices make your inner flame resilient. So instead of weakening under pressure, you begin to naturally turn difficulty into strength.
Right. You know, have you, can you share with us if you've ever had that experience in your life or with a client, just to, bring this to life?
Yeah, sure. Absolutely. My clients, they're often facing difficulty. You said something about change, and life is
Hmm.
change, and it's about being able to meet the moment. um, I've worked with a client who faced a really painful breakup, and initially she felt, completely heartbroken, lost, and overwhelmed. But once we reframed it as a chance to clarify what she truly wants and deserves in relationships, then something shifted. So, she was allowing herself to be defined by the circumstance, but in the reframing and working with the challenge, she could see a whole new way of really viewing what had happened, and also herself in that.
Yeah, I love that because instead of seeing the breakup as a proof of failure, because we have this, mixed bag of emotions about failure, and if we reframe it, it allows any failure, relationship failure, to become a stepping stone towards deeper self awareness and the potential for better relationships in the future in this instance. But, it's again, it's that shift in the perspective and that question, why it's to ask, not why is this happening to me? It's what is this making me aware of? What do I need to change? How do I need to evolve? Right. So everything that happens is a building block towards a better future.
Absolutely. And as we go through these challenges, right, we're all going to face challenges. But when you build that resilience, that inner resilience, and you see yourself as someone who is able and capable to get
Mhm.
through the difficulty, then your confidence will actually increase, and you'll be able to see pain as temporary fuel rather than permanent damage.
Right. Right. And that's so important, to be strong with whatever happens. Um,
Yeah.
yeah. If
So,
if Go on.
well, what I was going to say is that, it's important to remember that your challenges don't define you, but your responses do. So every difficulty you face has hidden potential, and it's not here to harm you, it's here to help you grow. If you allow it, if you, click into that mindset shift of seeing it as fuel for growth.
Right. You know, I think that we talk about it often about that shift because it's so important to reframe your story, reframe the events in your life so that they empower you. And, you know, if you found that, if you found this helpful, we'd love to hear from you. You know, comment below what one challenge you're facing right now that you can use as fuel to grow stronger. And also, if you enjoyed this conversation, please like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs encouragement today. And until next time, remember, you're really stronger than what you realize. And that's important.
Absolutely. Believe in your own inner strength and your ability to overcome whatever challenges and obstacles you face.